Okay, next up on the Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor pay-per-view was a six-man match for the Ring of Honor six-man championship. The champion, Shane Taylor Promotions versus LFI, which was Kenny King, the ROH TV champion, Dragon Lee, and Bestia del Ring. It was supposed to be Roosh in this match, but he suffered a knee injury, he had surgery, and his father, Bestia, took his place. And before the bell rang, Kenny King attacked Shane Taylor and really went to town on his chair shots, which they were safe, but his body language is so great with the chair shots. It really looked vicious, and I like that. I wish I would have seen what was going on like in the ring more, because I couldn't tell. Why couldn't the referee see this? Or I'm sure he was busy with the other guys, but it was just but it was fine. It was cool. It's an interesting way to start the match because they didn't do this yet on the show, so it meant something here. And Shane Taylor was injured and he was unable to compete. So O'Shea Edwards, who was not in the match, wanted to fill in for his stablemate, his leader, Shane Taylor. So he was going to defend the six-man tag team titles against LFI. And, of course, because LFI has in this match, they requested the Lucha Libre rules, which you don't tag in and out, one person out, one person in. And I'm just like, okay, so the champions are at a disadvantage because they want Lucha rules? Like, you're just going to handicap one team? For what? Like, why? They want it? Okay, who cares? If they want it, then don't give it to them. Like, it doesn't make sense. I mean, it just makes the company look stupid, in my opinion. Make it tags, all right? I'm sorry. Like, the Lucha rules are stupid for six-man tags. They work in Mexico. I'm not gonna say they don't, but here in the United States, let's do tags, and they can work around tags. They can do tags. It's not like they've never done tags before in regular tag matches. They can figure this out. And this match was fine. It was action, back and forth, dive outs as you expect. At one point, Kenny King does a dive out and lands on Dragon Lee, and it just looked like he went out and dived on Dragon Lee. It just the way the camera, I don't know what the camera missed, whatever happened on the floor that put Dragon Lee in that position, or maybe Dragon Lee realized no one else is ready to catch Kenny King, so he decided to catch his own partner. I don't know. It just was a very, very goofy situation. I like Shane Taylor Promotions. I like all the guys in the group, especially I like Khan. What a great looking athlete he is. Moses, the bigger guy of the team, slimming down, looking good, looking more athletic, getting higher on a lot of his like the sentons and whatnot. And even when he does his little up in the corner on the apron deal he does, really athletic thing he does for a big man, and he does like the forward roll bump off the apron. He looked really good. Like, just that looked faster because he slimmed down. And when he slimmed down, everything's looking a little better, and he looked more athletic. And I believe they're still pretty young as a team, and I think I like their potential. Khan, he's a great athlete. I haven't seen much personality in him yet, but like, I want to see more from him. I want to see some character development in him. Same with Moses too. Like, who are these guys? They're just behind Shane Taylor. O'Shea Edwards, I just like his look. Great look. He's raw. Still raw. Still needs works on just certain things, but what a freaking look that he has. Big old dude. See a lot of little guys in wrestling these days, and that's cool. I'm not hating on little guys and being like that, but it's nice to see some big men out there doing some big man shit. So enjoyed it. Dragon Lee looked good here. This is where he can thrive in six-man tags. He can hide all his weaknesses, and he can do all the big stuff. So, he was able to shine here. I thought Kenny King looked good. I'm not like the biggest Kenny King fan. Just never really got into him. I've seen him for years. Obviously, he's been in ROH forever, and even when he was in Impact Wrestling or TNA, I don't know. I just can never really get into him. But I will say, he has some attitude, man, and some cockiness, and has a slappable face, and he really adds to the LFI. I know Roosh kind of dominates because he's so charismatic and such a great heel. But Kenny King's right there with him as a slimy heel. That just Roosh is like an asshole that can definitely beat your ass still. Like Kenny King is he's a talented guy, but he's so cocky about it. You just want to see him get his ass kicked. So I like so he's starting to grow on me after all these years, at least as I've been watching Ring of Honor here. The finish was Shane Taylor came out with the chair, just walloped Kenny King with this chair shot. It looked pretty bad. I know Kenny got his hand up, but thank God, because Shane Taylor came with the big one. I don't know why he didn't wrestle in this match. I wonder what was the story there with him, or is this just an angle? But we'll see what's going on with Shane Taylor Promotions. I'm not a big fan of 6-man tag team titles. I know they served a purpose in World Class when it was the Freebirds versus Von Erichs, and I get that. And I understand it. I get that in Mexico. It totally makes sense in Mexico. But United States, it just never worked. Dusty Rhodes created a 6-man tag title in the 80s for him, the Road Warriors, to have belts while the Horsemen had all the belts, right? I remember when I was younger as well, in 1991, when they brought the 6-man tag titles back in WCW, Dusty, of course, and brought him back because the Freebirds were a 3-member team again with a masked wrestler, Badstreet, who ended up being one of my all-time favorites, Brad Armstrong. So they were the new WCW 6-man tag team title champions after they beat the previous champions, which is, get this, Tommy Rich, Ricky Morton, and JYD. And that sounds great in 1983, but 1991, it was just kind of crazy and just wacky. I don't think they even had belts at the time. And I liked that as a kid. I liked them then, but then looking back, as I got older, and I thought, yeah, this is a waste of time, right? No one cared about those belts, and they never do. And same thing with New Japan right now. They have a 6-man tag team championship, and no one really cares. They switch hands every other show, and I know the Shane Taylor promotion has been champions for a while, and do you have a big enough roster to do these 6-man tag team matches, a whole 6-man tag team contenders? You gotta bring back some Chikara dudes. The last pay-per-view, I would drop them and get rid of them, and I'm not a belt guy, I'm not a belt mark guy, but even those belts don't even look cool. They don't look as cool as the other guys are wearing. So I don't know. I would just drop them and let Shane Taylor focus on going for the heavyweight championship or TV championship. I think he was a TV championship. I remember he was a TV champion before. And, with SOS, Moses, and Khan, let him go for the tag titles. I think they'd be good tag team champions. This match was kind of just there. It was entertaining for what it was, I guess, and could have been a little more interesting if Roosh was in it, but that's something that was out of their hands. They all did their best, and at least they had a little story to it. They had a story from the beginning to the end, and I can appreciate that. So, it was all in all, it was fine for this show.